because it takes that for us to succeed or to make it. One good thing about marriage is that no one can ever show up for our marriages on our behalf, but we are daily required to put our foot down intentionally and say that this is another day where I'm going to put effort to make sure that my marriage works out. Now, do we give up when we come across challenges? Giving up is not always an option, but it starts with us showing up for our marriages and for our spouse. This morning, as we start, I just want to ask each one of us to say, let's reflect. How have you been showing up in your marriage, or how have you been showing up for your spouse? Because it starts there. It starts there, and that's one critical, important point that we need to think about. We have power to shape the kind of marriages that we desire to be in, or the kind of experiences that we want to be exposed to in our own marriages. The power is in our hands. So now we are saying we are doing Marriage Reset 2025. And I want to bring this to our attention as couples to say that there are areas in our marriages where we need to reset together. We need to reflect on how we are really doing as a couple and what we need to do to correct what might not be going well. But there is also a reset that we need to do as an individual in the marriage for the benefit of the marriage. And I'm saying as an individual because as much as we are working together as a couple, there are certain things that takes us as individuals to step back and ask ourselves, how are we really contributing to the state of our marriage today? And that's why this morning we are saying it takes two. My marriage takes me and Mpho, but I need to be fully aware of how I'm investing or contributing in this marriage. And by so saying, I want us to go back to the Word of God, even as individuals in the marriage. And I'm going to read the word from the book of Psalm 139. It says, "You have searched me, Lord, and you know me. You know when I sit and when I arise. You perceive my thoughts from far. You discern my going out and my lying down. You are familiar with all my ways. Before a word is on my tongue, you, Lord, know it completely." And this is the word that is in my heart today as we share as couples, to say, let's go back as individuals and ask ourselves, how am I really doing? How am I really contributing towards this marriage? Because the fact that things sometimes do not go well, it is because of either one of us or both of us. But here is the Word of God that is clearly showing us that God is really interested in each one of us. And He says that, David says on verse 2, "You perceive my thoughts from afar." So God knows how we think. Even about our spouse in our corner, God is able to know even those not so good thoughts that we have about our spouse. God is aware. God is familiar with all our ways. including our ways in marriage, including our selfishness in marriage, and everything else that you